What is going on, everyone? This is Ninja Geek here, and today I'm going to be talking about more about the Awakening DLC and if it is actually worth your money. So I did make a video talking about my multiplayer map, Honest Thoughts, and you could check that out. I made it a few days ago on my channel, so you can see some of the map gameplay and my thoughts specifically on each map more in depth. But I'm just going to be basically giving you an overview in this video, and plus more on everything as we've kind of learned it over the past week. So I'm going to start off with talking about the maps again in a general form. Rise, in my own opinion, this is my opinions about this, and that's why it's my honest thoughts. Rise, I don't really like it. It seems like it belongs in Advanced Warfare, to be completely honest. It's too chaotic. There's way too many spots. Like, it just doesn't fit a Treyarch map at all. I don't see it being a great map as playing on it as well, but it's just not a good map in my own opinion. The next one we have Skyjacked. Obviously, that's the remake of Hijacked. I never liked Hijacked in Black Ops 2. I never really was a fan of it, but it wasn't like that map that was, wow, that's a terrible map, I'm not going to play that. It was just the map that was like, these spawns are garbage, but whatever, I'll play it. And it just happened to be what it is. And in Black Ops 3, I think it's the same way. I still think the spawns are the same as they are, except it's basically hijacked on a big ship in the sky. It plays the same, but I just don't like it because I don't like Hijacked. The next one is Gauntlet. Gauntlet is a very great map from the looks of it, from just the scenery and the way that it plays. It's very well in domination objective game modes, as well as, I guess you could say, the TDM and the free-for-all and kill-confirm style of gameplay. It plays pretty well there. A lot of things within the Awakening DLC, or the maps, are a little bit bigger, honestly, from playing on them. They're a little bit bigger, so games tend to go more to time limit in like TDM and stuff, but it is what it is. It's a little bit slower than the actual on-disc maps, but Gauntlet's a pretty decent map, and Splash is a great map. Great visuals, probably one of the best looking maps ever, except in domination it plays fine. Like in objective game modes, I should say, it plays really good, except in like TDM or whatever, you're running around the map for the entirety of the time, and you'll go to mostly time limit TDMs because the map is so damn big. And I don't think that they could have they honestly could have expanded on it, meaning like made different areas that you can go up in and go down. They kind of limited to where we can go, and it's just like a giant map with just like huge areas on it, and you can't get in most of the part of it. So if they're gonna have a giant map, make us get in a lot of the areas in it, or just make it a smaller map. Like they could have just made it, like, cut the map in half, and it would have been great. Like Grind in Black Ops 2, that map was an excellent size. And Splash is just not that great in terms of how big it is. So those are my honest thoughts. Out of the 4 multiplayer maps, 2 are only really good ones, which are Gauntlet and Splash, and even those aren't really that great. So you got to take that for what it is, for what your own opinions of them are of them, and look at other people's gameplay so you can better judge about what they look like. Now, one thing I would like to say is that there are exploits on Splash right now. Like, I've seen so many videos and people just doing these exploits where you just, like, all you gotta do in one of them is, like, climb on top of the tube in the middle of the map, like this yellow tube, and you're basically in a glitch spot, and nobody can get to you, and you could just destroy everyone on the other team. And all you gotta do is just run and jump right up onto the tube, and you're inside of the tube on top of, like, this castle building in the middle of the Splash. That should have been tested by Treyarch. That should have honestly been tested. I mean, how do they release something that wasn't tested? If they tested it, that wouldn't be in there. That's a major exploit. It's not like something in the back of the map where nobody would find you would think, and somebody ended up finding it. This is right in the smack dab middle of the map. So it obviously goes to show you that Treyarch is, number 1, lazy. Number 2, doesn't care because they're lazy. And number 3, it's just, I mean, how do you release something like that to people that are buying your DLC? And here's where I'm going to start to diverse. Actually, before I diverse, I want to also talk about the Zombies map, because the Zombies map is worth your money alone. Like, if you only play Zombies, you don't play multiplayer, the Zombies map has got some great Easter eggs. I've seen, like, today I actually watched a video of almost completing, like, the giant, like, completing the actual map. It's just everything involved in zombies is great if you are the zombies critique and you love to just play zombies casually, or you like to get really into it, doing the different things like upgrading the bows and trying to survive the longest routes, trying to get the Easter eggs. Like, I heard that there was one Easter egg where you can actually use something to fight off the panzers with, like you could put it, like goes on your head after a certain things. There's just so much that Treyarch adds in to the zombies that map is excellent, and it's worth $15 on your own. But the multiplayer side of things, just don't even bother with it. Treyarch obviously doesn't care, and you can obviously see that. Now, one thing I would like to note, and would like to take of note, I should say, is the fact that this DLC is the first DLC that is different. Obviously, it's on the PlayStation, so that's not what I'm talking about. It's on the PlayStation first. That's not what I'm going to really be talking about. But it seems as though Treyarch has done something different with this DLC. So, in the past, when you got a DLC, let's say, for example, I think one of them was the Uprising DLC, one of the Supremacy. I'll just say that, for example, in Advanced Warfare, whatever the case may be. It's the one that I remember off the top of my head. Whatever the DLC may be in any of the older Call of Duties, you would download. Okay, I have a season pass, whatever the case is, I download it, and it works. Like, I just download it, right? I download the actual DLC. There's a patch update, download, yada. Then what happens is you could play on the maps, and it's perfectly fine. And of course, you should have a playlist DLC, which Treyarch didn't do. That was their fault. So you don't have to sift through random lobbies. They finally added that in too. But with this DLC, it was in the patch. So basically, in short terms, you can't uninstall it. So whenever the patch 1.0.5 came out, that was the DLC, plus whatever else they fixed within the game that they fixed, that was the DLC. So everyone has the DLC, it's just locked behind a content door, basically. So if you want to uninstall it, you can't, basically. That's what they're saying, in other words. Which is completely retarded, in my opinion. Honestly, it is. In the older Call of Duties, for example, I'll go back to MW3 in a little bit, but in the older Call of Duties, if you didn't want a DLC, what I used to do is have flash drives with all the DLC on it. So if I wanted to actually play on the DLC maps or the zombie map, I would be like, hey, I'll plug this into my console and I'll play on there. And if I just want to play the base game, I just won't put the flash drive in. You can't do that anymore. They made it so that you have to, if you have the DLC, you're gonna have it forever. And what it's going to do in long term is going to separate the community even further, because let's say Infinity Ward's game comes out and I'm not saying it's going to suck, but let's just say it sucks. And then people go back to Black Ops 3. Now people that don't have the DLC, or people that even buy Black Ops 3 when Infinity Ward's game comes out, the community is just going to be separated. And you're going to have that separation, and it's just not good for longevity of the game. And since you can't uninstall the map packs, there's nothing you could do about it. So, honestly, what they need to do, and here's where I'm going to go back to talking about MW3. MW3, Infinity Ward did it right. You didn't need a flash drive for that game. All you did was, if you wanted the DLC, you would install the DLC content pack, whatever it was. Now, of course, with MW3, they did the Elite system where they would give you, like, one map every month or something like that. I remember it was stupid, honestly. I think we all would agree that having 4 actual map packs was easier. But in general, whatever the DLC content was in Modern Warfare 3, there was an option to disable it, which should be in every Call of Duty, because that's the greatest thing ever. If you wanted to play on DLC, you would leave it on. If you didn't, disable it, and boom, you didn't have to worry about it. That's what Black Ops 3 is going to need. If you can't uninstall it, have an option, just hit the back button, disable, and just check it to undisable. You know, it's just that easy. That's all they have to do. But no, they're not going to probably do that, because Treyarch is greedy for their money. Activision, I should say, is greedy for their money, and they're just going to milk people of the DLC, and you can't even uninstall it. So that's my honest thoughts. Take that for what you will about the Awakening DLC and further DLCs to even come. That's what Treyarch and Activision are planning on doing, and those are my thoughts. It's worth it for the zombie map, but the multiplayer, it's just not going to be worth it. And what I'm specifically going to do is, I have Black Ops 3 on PS4 and Xbox One, so I'm just getting the DLC on PS4 and trying not to get the DLC on Xbox One, so I can just play the main game. So, you know, that's it. Like, of course, if you did enjoy, and subscribe for more content along the way. This is Ninja Geek. I'll see you on whatever my next video happens to be. I'm out. And peace.